What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Andy Bowles. Got to do a little bit of a change up this week, unfortunately. There's going to be no league videos. The Sunday night league got canceled due to the snowstorm that we got hit up with up here. And a Tuesday night league, which is tonight, unfortunately is also canceled due to a corporate party at Valero Limerick. So yeah, unfortunately no league videos, but I still wanted to do something for you guys. So I decided to do a accessory / cleaning type things that I definitely feel like every bowler, tournament or league bowler, should have in their bag. The very first thing, a chamois and or microfiber towel. Chamois definitely helps with wiping the oil off the ball in between shots. The microfiber for cleaning the ball. Now you can also use the microfiber to wipe the oil off. Either one works for that. However, I would not use the same microfiber that you are wiping your oil off with in between shots to then clean your ball with. Kind of defeats the purpose just a little bit because your microfiber is already going to be starting to get saturated with the oil. So the next thing would be cleaning stuff. I have two right here, the Vice and the Storm True Blue. There are a whole bunch of different ones out there. Creating the Difference makes one. They do a whole bunch of different stuff over there as far as different applicators for the ball, as far as to bring a more hook to them and things all like that. They have tons of cleaners. There's a whole bunch out there. There's some homemade type recipes on the internet that you can look up. However, you do want to make sure that none of the materials used in those homemade ones are on the USB-C banned list. So next thing, also just as equally as important as the chamois and or microfiber, a grip sack and or rosin bag. Something to help dry your hand off a little bit in between shots. I don't know. My hands tend to get a little bit of sweaty, so I'm constantly having to use that throughout the games. Next after that, I think some sort of athletic or supportive tape. You may have noticed I wear some on the back here just to help a little bit of extra support for my tendons. I like to use the Motive EcoFlex. It does have some copper infused in it, so it keeps everything nice and warm whenever it's on. And a pair of scissors. Something extremely underrated, but when you need it, you really do need it. Those two kind of sort of go hand in hand. And while we're going to be sticking with the tape, something that also everybody should have in their bag, I don't care if you're a thumb tape user or not, white and black tape to go inside of your thumb hole. The white textured tape to go on the front to give you just a little bit more grip. Some people use it on their back side of the thumb too. And the black tape, which is primarily just to take up a little bit of extra space. Generally, it's going to be the same smoothness as the inside of your thumb slug, thumb mold, or interchangeable thumb. I personally like to use the Brunswick white tape. It does tend to be a little bit more on the thicker side, but it sticks really well. And then as far as the black tape goes, I like the Master. It's nice and thin. The one gripe I do have about it, it does kind of sort of stick to the paper a little bit, so you got to be really careful when you're actually peeling it off, so that way you don't peel the backing of the paper off with it. I would definitely recommend getting yourself some little jobbies like this, little cases, just to keep the tape organized. They do normally come in bags. These ones are both Storm tape containers. I got these years and years ago. They do obviously come with tape in them normally. Next step, since we're on the tape again, is some sort of tool to help you remove the tape from inside your thumb hole. This one right here was actually something that was created especially by hand by one of my mom's customers, probably 15-20 years ago. Maybe not quite 20 years ago, but quite a long time. It's real simple. I mean, a little screwdriver would work. This one happens to be nice and ergonomical with a real nice handle and everything. Again, since we're sticking with protective stuff, something I always keep in my bag some new skin patch, something along those lines. I do tend to hit up on the ball quite a good bit. Being in the 400 category for revs, I do tend to hit up on the ball. Sometimes, if I'm bowling for long extended periods of time, I will end up getting little blisters, cracks in the skin. Yeah, so this stuff kind of helps out with that and mitigates. So I actually end up putting it on before I bowl every night or every time I bowl, just to help out and be a little bit preventative. Since again, you know, fit and everything like that, preventative stuff. Alcohol wipes. I cannot stress these things enough. Alcohol wipes have saved my butt so many times in tournaments when I'm going to pull a piece of tape out and it might have been in there quite a long time. Maybe it gotten a little bit warm, went through a cycle or two in the reviver, the detoxifier to pull some oil out so that the adhesive is super, super gummy on the back of it. That's where the alcohol wipes come in handy. You can pick them up any drugstore, Walmart, Amazon. Amazon actually has a decent deal. You can get like 250 of them for like, I think it was like $5 or $6 I paid, something like that. It was real cheap. But yes, big time lifesaver. And then one of the final things in the bag, this one a little bit more towards the tournament side of bowlers, Averlon pads. Now, not saying you league bowlers can't also get yourself a set. But you're going to see a little bit more use out of them in your league or your tournament situations. Me personally, I like to carry a 4,000, a 2,000, a 1,000, and a 500. For anybody who doesn't know, these are used for adjusting the surface on the ball. So say you're throwing it in practice before the tournament starts and you're not quite liking the look and you want it to start up a little bit sooner. You know, maybe the ball comes out of box at, 2,000 grit, something along those lines, or 4,000 grit. So then you would just maybe hit it with the 2,000 or 1,000 or maybe even a 500 if it's really soaked and you're really looking for some early read. I think that's about it as far as in my bag goes, other than some other little supportive things. I do use the Storm Wrister. This thing is fantastic. I don't normally have wrist pain. However, this helps prevent any of that wrist pain. Don't necessarily have to go with the Storm one. CVS, Walmart, other drugstores, they sell a bunch of them. There's a few other ones floating out there that are also specifically tailored a little bit more towards the bowling aspect. And then the absolute last piece that I have in here, other than some more microfiber towels, is an elbow support. I don't really use this too often, but being a little bit more on the higher rev and a little bit more on the power side of things, every now and then from the snap, the elbow does kind of hurt a little bit. So this guy on there, she's real nice.